But I also would like to emphasize, I emphasized last time that this cannot just be indiscriminately what? Exercised by the President. The exercise of any of these powers is what? The exercise of any of these powers is entirely dependent on the gravity of the situation. Okay? Yeah? So if the situation escalates, that's the only time, that's the second one, and the third one may be exercised. So it cannot be done indiscriminately. So the first power, that's why I call it graduated. Diba? I call it calibrated. No? Depending on the what? Depending on the gravity of the situation. When we say calling out power, take note. Okay. We all know that executive power is discretionary power. Can you compel the president to declare martial law? Can you compel the president to call out the armed forces and suppress rebellion? Yes or no? The answer is no. Because executive power is discretionary, and when we say discretionary, it's what? It is entirely dependent on the wisdom, take note, and discretion of the one possessing the what? Possessing the authority. So who has the authority to determine if it is necessary to call out the armed forces? It's the president. Whenever it becomes necessary. Who determines whether it's necessary or not? It's the president. It's the president. And is it a political question or just visible question? Since it is an exercise of a discretionary power, take note, that is a political question. And since there is no additional power or there are no additional powers granted to the president by merely exercising his calling out power, take note, it's a pure political question that is even beyond judicial intervention. So, what is the significance when the president calls the armed forces, calls the military, and helps the president curtail lawlessness, invasion, and rebellion? It's nothing more on police visibility. Take note that military, it's more on what? It's more on re-emphasizing to the members of the military that they have to help the president, which is already their function, to what? To curtail crimes, but this time, more specifically, in curtailing what? Lawlessness, rebellion, and invasion. So it's a more police visibility that the people are being cautioned that in any place, military officers or military men are there to see to it that laws are properly followed. But no additional power is given to the president. That's why what? As I've said, it's a pure political question. Can they conduct indiscriminate arrests? Can they conduct warrantless searches and warrantless seizures? Yes or no? The answer is no. Because I have also mentioned last time even that what? I have mentioned last time even that the person may only be seized, that the person may only be searched, take note, unless there is the proper warrant issued by the court. And that is a constitutional provision, di ba? And for purposes of arresting a person because he is violating a penal law, take note, it should only be issued by the court. Korte lang po ang pwedeng mag-issue ng warrant of arrest or search warrant. So if a person is arrested without a warrant, if a person is searched without a warrant, take note. Sabi ko nga that is what? That is hobbled with irregularity. That's hobbled with irregularity, and it is the burden of conducting the warrantless search or warrantless arrest to prove that the arrest is justified, that the search is done properly. Because if you'll be checking warrantless, so kahit pa military man ka at may calling out power na pig-exercise ang president, hindi sila pwedeng mag-arresto lang unless it falls without a warrant, unless it falls in any of the circumstances where warrantless arrest may be effected. Diba? Like for example what? Yung tinatawag nating arrest in flagrante delicto. Meaning to say, you are in the act of committing the offense, so can you be arrested? Yes or no? Yes. Can a private person effect the arrest? Yes or no? Yes. We have a citizen's arrest in warrantless arrest. Pero if it is arrest without a warrant, a private person may not serve a warrant of arrest, may not effect a warrant of arrest. It should, because it is addressed to the proper officer of the law. It's addressed to the proper officer of the law. Okay? So if you are committing a crime, visible ang mga pulis, can they arrest you without a warrant? Yes or no? Yes. Diba? We know that. Yung pang tinatawag nating, arrest, warrantless arrest, or hot pursuit arrest. Meaning to say, the person arresting is actually not present at the time the crime is committed. But he came immediately after the crime was done. Kaya ang naroon sa ating rules, that the crime has just been committed. So may word na just, has just been committed, and the person arresting has probable cause based on personal knowledge that the person to be arrested has committed the offense. Pwede. Like for example, dumating siya. Tapos na, patay na yung tao. Nakita niya patay. Is that a personal knowledge? Yes. Sabi nung eyewitness, nandun po, tumakbo po si Pedro. Dala ang kanyang itak. May dugo pa. Pag tingin mo talaga, may dugo pa papuntang, can you pursue him? And he is already in his residence. Can you still arrest him? Yes or no? Yes. That's what we call hot pursuit. Even without a warrant. Even without a certain jurisprudence will tell us 3 days is already so much. 1 hour, 2 hours. Pero ang point ko dyan is, for as long as there is continuity, without interruption, regardless of the time, that can still be considered a hot pursuit. Ito nga, in your presence, the crime is being committed. Di anong gagawin mo? Sabi ni Atty. Castro, I could effect a warrantless. Inaresto mo. Ayaw magpa-aresto. Tumakbo. Hinabol mo. Naghabulan kayo. 24 hours. Sige kayo habulan. Habulan. Di mo talaga pigbutasan. Ano talaga pighapag-hapag mo? 24 hours. Imagine. Imagine the stamina. Until finally, you arrested him. What is that? Hot pursuit or arrest in flagrante delicto? Hot pursuit, but it pursuit. That is still what? That is still considered arrest in flagrante delicto because when the time is happening, you are present. Diba? Yeah? Because yan ang pagkakaiba ng hot pursuit at arrest in flagrante delicto. Or thirdly, nalaman mo na yung babaeng nakakulong doon sa Santa Rosa, Laguna, nakatakas. Nakita mo naglalakad-lakad sa Plaza Quezon. Pwede mo bang arestuhin? Kilala niyo yung babae na nakapiit sa Santa Rosa, Laguna. Santa Rosa, Laguna. Tama ba? Ha? Basta kung may babae nakapiit doon sa Santa Rosa, Laguna. Alam mong tumakas siya, can you arrest him? Yes or no? Yes. If a person has escaped from detention, you can arrest him even without a warrant. Lalo na kung ikaw ang nagpienta, alam niyo ba, month-man, di ba, insurance? Nirequire na siya ng court. Oh, you explain because you did not bring the accusing court. Can you arrest him even if you're a private person? Yes or no? Yes. So that he could be brought to court. So these are the only instances where warrantless arrest may be effected. I repeat, warrantless arrest may be effected. Tatlo lang po. So, beyond any of these three instances, that is already considered unconstitutional because the Constitution requires that it should be what? It should be with a warrant. That is one, that notwithstanding the fact, if the arresting officer is a military man, wala po tayong pakialam dyan, and even if the President has exercised his calling out power. So much so with searches. There is only one instance allowed by the rule so that a person may be searched without a warrant. And what is that? That's a search incident to a lawful arrest. Yun lang, di ba? That if you want to arrest a person, you have arrested a person lawfully, either by virtue of a warrant or following any of those circumstances where warrantless arrest may be effected, di ba? Pwede mo ba siyang i-search? Yes or no? Yes. Because normally the singular objective why search is allowed after the arrest is what? Because that is for security measure also on the part of the person arrested. Because the person might have a weapon that might endanger the life of the person arrested. Pero that was already modified also in the case of Robin Padilla versus CA. Can you still effect a warrantless arrest even if ano pa ang rason? So that you could search upon his person after the arrest to find evidence of the crime. Okay? Pwede mong arreston, di ba? Tapos nakuha siya. Or within arrested immediate control. Like for example, dito mo in-arrest. Is it still within arrested immediate control? Yes. Bakit? Pwede niyang itapon niya ng droga. Control. Is it still within arrested immediate control? Yes. Pwede niyang itapon din ng droga. So, pwede. Pero doon sa kabila, may basketballan sa kabila, concrete yan. Pwede mo bang i-search ang basketballan? Wala. Bakit? How could he throw that item there? He does no longer have control or dominion over. Ganun po yun, So try to be very careful. Again, also, very rampant normally pag ang president nag-calling out power. Pero may checkpoint, di ba? And I know you are very much aware, especially nowadays again, that election time is fast approaching and gun ban has already started. Okay? So every now and then, you could see checkpoint. And as a motorist, what you should do, what you should bear in mind, if you are passing through a checkpoint, you have to check, is the checkpoint well lighted? Because that is a requirement. Kaya pag nag-aagi ka, kadikluman yung bangge, may checkpoint. Ang checkpoint pati, ning nyug. Itong ka nyug, di ba? Yan ang checkpoint, di ba? Palapa ka nyug, checkpoint. Anong gigipon mo? Either umatras ka na, or mag-iba ka na ng linya. Okay? Because tala na kung mahiling mo, pagluwas, may bugkos ng pula dyan. Ay, that is something. That's a problem, di ba? So it should be well lighted. That's a requirement. It is also a requirement that person manning the checkpoint should be in proper uniform. With proper identification. Ngayon, under the civil service rules, ano ngayon? Ang ID ngayon, ganyan na. Di ba? Di ba? Ganyan na. That's exaggeration also. Ang gusto sabihin, malaki na. Di ba? Not anymore yung ordinary ID. Ganyan na kalaki. Kung ang usually, if you don't like your face, tiga ganyan-ganyan mo lang, tinutupi-tupi mo yung address na ng face. Hindi mo yan pwedeng gawin ngayon. Bakit? Back to back yan, di ba? Wala kang pupuntahan, di ba? Back to back yan, may picture ka, di ba? You check the government offices, di ba? Sa mga government offices, that's a requirement sa amin nga, ang laki. Itatago mo, picture pa din. Itago mo, ganyan. No? So it should be properly identified as a requirement. Take note, as a motorist, you must know that. And in a checkpoint also, kahit kapag may calling out power, usually may checkpoint, as I said. Can police officers or persons manning the checkpoint require the motorist to alight from the car? No, they cannot. Because the same should only be limited to visual search. Can they require the motorist to open the trunk? Open your trunk. Ay, mas lalo makasupog yan, i-open mo ang trunk mo. Opening the compartment is also not allowed. Kaya sinasabi ko sa mga law students, fourth year, sabi ko kayo, mga abogadilyo na kayo. Halimbawa, nag-checkpoint kayo, sinabi ko, boss, pwedeng bumaba ka. Anyway, I'm a law student. Passing the bar examination is just a formality. Ay, hambog yan. Pero sige, formalanta ang hambog mo. Pumila ba? Ano? Pumila ba? Dalay dapat. Di ba? Dapat. Alam din yan. Pwede po, sir, bukasan mo ang tayo mong compartment. Sabi ka, law student. My pleasure. Oh, thank you! Puno ka sa. May box. Ano po yan, sir? Pwede po, sir, mahiling. Sige, by all means. Shabu. Cannot be anyway nga, sabi niya, tumika ko sa checkpoint ngayon. Bawal po ka sa nasa. Okay, ako na. Yung pagtubod niya, ano? Sabi niya, tumika ko, bawal po ka sa ng trunk. Okay, ako na. Pinababa ako, mababa ako. Pero bawal yan, aram ko yan. Yan, di ba? Pinabayaan niya na. Kaya sige. Cannot be admissible in evidence. Yes! Because that illegal search may be cured by your consent. That is now considered a consented search. And any item found can be used against you. Say no. Pag tigpalaog mo ang sarong tao, mabukas. Ano? Tao po. Pwede po makilaog. Pag tigpalaog mo ang sarong tao sa harong mo din ang nangangulog na pagpaputubutan mo man siya na mag-conduct ng search. Pinalaog mo, tukaw po. Halat po, ititimta kang kape. Sige ng kanda. Pabilisin pa. Kaya ano, pag araw mo kaya, yan una sa table, may throw ka na. Nakuan. Admissible? No. That's never a consented search. It doesn't follow that just because pinalaog mo sa harong mo, it's already a consented search. Take note. Kaya pag kayo nga sa bahay, may nagtuktok. May nagtuktok. Sir, pwede po nga, sir, sabi po kaya na nga, sir, may mga dahilisinsyadong badidyan sa harong nindo. Pwede po nga, sir, makakundok ka ng search. Dahil naman po nga, sir, hihiro ng mga gamit mo, hiling-hiling lang po kaya kami. What do you think? Consented search? Yes or no? Answer. Consented search? Yes or no? That can be equivalent to what? Consented search. Kaya kung ma-search, anong sasabihin mo? Kung mag-yes ka, anong sasabihin mo? Sir, pasensya na po. Pero po, pwede po, sir, mahiling po ang search warrant. Ipahiling sa bali. Ito, search warrant. Pabayaan mo na. Anyway, there is never a consented search. Your consent is vitiated by that force or by that intimidation. It's okay with you. You can always defend yourself. Yeah? So yan. So sa checkpoint, can they require you to alight? No. Can they require you to open your trunk? No. Because that's only limited to visual search. Kaya proper na flight lang. Can they conduct initial inquiry? Kasi rin po ko sa sir, okay lang yan. Diba? Okay lang yan. Yeah. Pero kung bigyan na lisensya mo, paano, sir? Basta. Can that be done? No, that cannot be done. So, hindi po pwede yun. Okay, so I am just reminding our police officers here. Because if I am not mistaken, may regulation, baga may guidelines in manning a section. It should be less intrusive in character. Because no person in his right mind will be bringing a contraband knowing that you'll be passing through a checkpoint. That's according to the case of Valmonte versus Sevilla. So, it should be less intrusive in character. Pero, binuksan, binuksan yung salamin. Nag-visual search ka. May naamoy ka. Alam mo, based from experience. Naamoy mo, marijuana to. When I say based from experience, you have attended seminars. Kaklase mo pa nga mga K9. Talagang pumarong, di ba? Talagang ang pumarong mo, talagang mabinino, ano? Pasalang mo pa ang grade mo nga rin sa K9. Mas ano ka pa, sorry for the word, mas hayop ka pa, ano? So, you were able to smell, yung tinatawag na distinctive odor, di ba? Can you effect an extensive search? Is that personal knowledge in your part? Yes. Based from what? Based from your experience, based from what you learned, based from what you know, based from your police experience. This is a drug. Especially if you are a narcotic agent, di ba? This is a drug. Can you conduct extensive search? Yes or no? Yes, because that's probable. Yes. Another, pag ganyan ng driver, nakita mo, may nakata, may umumbok sa pan. Ay, parin niya. So you conduct an extensive search only to find out na yung t-shirt niya, binakina po niya sa pantalon niya, mahuhuko man. Sa siyempre, mahukul, kabuk-anuhan. Again, I repeat, I know you're a police officer. Based from your experience, you know whether or not it's a gun. So based on that, you can effect extensive. So take note. Determination of probable cause is with the person manning the checkpoint. Okay? For as long as sa pagtubod mo may probable, bahala ka na sa korte mag-justify that that is really your belief. Anyway, it's a question of fact to be determined in court. Yeah. So, yan po, I am just trying and also, in effecting a search warrant also, wag kang mag-search na wala ang occupant o wala ang kanyang relative. Or kung wala sila, wala ang responsible persons in the community residing in the locality at these witnesses, di ba? Huwag kang mag-search, especially if you are a police officer. Bakit? You can be charged under the revised penal code. Searching a domicile without witnesses, that's a felony. Kaya dapat, pag nag-search ka, dapat meron kang, kung naroon ang occupant, okay. O relative. O pasiguro ka, dala ka din ng mga testigos pamparal. So that is important, especially in effecting. Kahit ano pa ang sitwasyon, kahit meron pang calling out power ang President, and ini-exercise niya yung calling out power na still, that particular rule cannot be relaxed, cannot be violated, because what is at stake here is also a constitutional right of the accused, which prevails over the right of the state to prosecute. So in the hierarchy of rights, take note, ang right ng akusado under the Constitution prevail over the right of the state to prosecute. That's why if there is a doubt, better not to file. Ganun po. Because of what? Because of the constitutional presumption of guilt. Kaya kung minsan nagagalit din ako kapag ang korte nagsasabi, aminin mo na. Kapag ang korte nagsasabi, ito, tingnan mo, sa affidavit. Talagang totoo ba? Di ba totoo? That's not. That's why sometimes I could not also take. So I also answer saying that it's a of the constitutional presumption of innocence. And that is never waived. Take note. Hindi po yan pwedeng i-waive. Kahit sa tumakbo na ang akusado. Kahit tumakas na. Yes! Hindi yan na-waive. Ang na-waive lang kapag tumakbo na ang akusado, yung right niya to present evidence. Yung right niya to be present. But the constitutional presumption of innocence remains. Take note. And it's still the burden of the prosecution to prove the guilt of the accused beyond reasonable doubt. One thing of this quantum of proof, kahit tumakbo na ang akusado, the court has no option but to acquit him. Take note. Ganun po yun. Because ang guilt ng akusado hindi na base sa weakness ng depensa niya, but on the strength of the prosecution evidence. Kaya nga ang akusado pwedeng hindi na magpresenta ng ebidensya if in his determination, kulang doon sa required quantum of proof yung evidensyang i-present ng ng prosecution. So ito, importante ito. Yung illegal ang iyong pag-aresto just because they are police officers and they were called upon by the president, pwede nilang silang aresto? Hindi. Pero if already at gunpoint, hayaan mo na. Anyway, ano man ang gawin nila sa'yo, like for example, pinaamin ka, aminin mo na ito. Nakikita mo to, mahaba itong balang ito. Ilalagay namin dito sa kamay mo. Gaganyanin namin. Kung ayaw mo, ganyan ka namin. Yung gaganyanin namin. Or kung gusto nyo, ilalagay namin kayo sa plastic, para hindi ka makahinga. Aminin mo na lang. Aminin mo na lang. Siguraduhin mo lang na wala kang abogado. Because any confession or admission without assistance of counsel is inadmissible, especially if you are under custodial investigation. Ito. Yeah. Kung nakikita mo problemado na, sige po. Pero dapat wala. Because if you are assisted by counsel, especially of your own choice, that can be validated. That can be validated. That can be a good extrajudicial. So yan, the search. Hindi po yan pwede. Istrikto po ang ating konstitusyon. Kahit mga militar pa yan, kahit mga police officers. Or yung tinatawag na search in flagrante delicto. Diba? Ano yung search in plain view, I'm sorry. Ano yung plain view? Nakita mo na. Paano ko po sa rin makikita? Plastic. May nakapangalan pa, marijuana. Plain view. Ano? Plain view. So usually, yun ang ginagawa ng police. Ganito, may search warrant. Ang requirement ng search warrant, dapat kung ano ang so you will describe the item in the search warrant. So with a search warrant, yun lang ang hahanapin mo dapat. Diba? So hanap. Baril, AK-47. Hanap ka. Paganyan mo. Again, based on experience. That's a shabu. Yan ang nagbago ng aking buhay. Alam ko yan. Shabu. Ang problema, wala doon sa search warrant. So I don't want to look at it. Ayokong tingnan yan. Bakit? Dahil sa search warrant, baril lang. Okay. Ang tanong ngayon, can you get it? Wala yan doon sa search warrant. What will you do? Close your eyes and pray and open it. After opening, get it. Kung wala nakakita, itago mo. Mali yun, Can you get it? Yes or no? Yes. Because according to standard jurisprudence, a searching person or operative take note are not required or are not under obligation to close their eyes if come across with what? Incriminating object. Even if the same is not among those in the warrant. Take note. Pero, you also consider the fact, AK-47 ang nasa search warrant. Nakakuha droga in a pouch. Pag open ang pouch, droga, pure. Ano ba? Methamphetamine hydrochloride. Can that be used against him? That's a what? That's a prohibited drug. Can that be used against him? Yes or no? Again, sabi ko sa mga ma-exam, you consider the fact. What is expressed in the warrant is what? AK-47. I really could not conceive how AK-47 could fit that pouch so that they would still have to open it. Paano ba makakita ka ng AK-47 yan? It will only lead to a conclusion that they are fishing evidence. And that's never admissible. But if it is the other way around, take note. Admissible, while you are still in the process of looking at the AK-47, you have found an incriminating object. Can you get it? Yes. Can you charge the person for possessing this? Yes. Because at the time you found that item, although that not among those expressed in the warrant, at the time you found this item, you still have the right to be where you are at that time. You have the right to be where you are at that time. Do you have the right? Yes, because I am effecting a valid search warrant. So, anong gagamitin mo na para maging admissible yan? Plain view doctrine. Although it's your burden or it's your onus to justify or to establish that it is on plain view. But still, that matters, di ba? That could be admissible using the doctrine. So, ganun. Anyway, so, you find it interesting. Don't you worry, in the second semester, we'll be having so much, especially in unreasonable searches and seizures. I-discuss ko lang po yan ngayon because kung minsan, ayan ang nangyayari just because the President declared martial law. Just because the President suspended the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus. Just because the President called upon the military in order to help him or her curtail rebellion or sedition. But that is not take note. We have constitutional and statutory limitations that should be observed. And we have to consider the what? We have to consider what you have learned in your statutory construction, what is said, that penal laws should be strictly construed against the government and liberally in favor on the part of the accused. Every piece of evidence, no matter how minute it may be, should be merited for the accused. Take note. Ganun po yun. Should survive the test of reason. Ganun po yun. Okay? So take note. So calling out power is simple police visibility. No warrantless searches, no warrantless arrest may be done. Okay? Yeah? Unless there is a what? Unless there is a warrant. Second, the President may also suspend the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus. That's a favorite subject in the bar examination also. What is habeas corpus? Writ of habeas corpus. Ordering a person to protect the body of a specific person. In a time, date, and specified. Okay. So writ. Writ is a what? Writ is a what? Masupong mangarap sabi yung past tense kang right. Writ. Okay. Written yan. Past participle, written. Writ is an order. Okay. Order coming from what? From where? Coming from the court. Ordering to release? No. Ordering the person custodying to bring the living body of that person to a particular place and justify his continuous detention. Take note. If the person custodying, take note, failed to justify the detention, that is the time that the privilege of the writ will be granted. Pag sinabing pribileyo, yung mga prayer mo doon sa petition mo, like for example, yung order niya ang release. So normally, a writ of habeas corpus is issued after the filing of the case, directing a person custodying to bring the person being custodied in court. Okay? So, but the primordial intention why a person files a petition for writ of habeas corpus is what? Is to secure the liberty of the person under custody. So that is the primordial intention while a petition for writ of habeas corpus is being issued. And in fact, if I am not mistaken, this is this is a special proceeding, and this is normally an ordinary what? This is an ordinary remedy if somebody is under detention and his detention is not justified. Say for example, as I've already mentioned last time, you are confined in a hospital and your accountabilities had already so much ballooned because you could not pay. And the hospital ordered that you should stay until such time that your accounts are settled. Would that be okay? Suppose you couldn't find any. So you have to stay there for a long period of time. So what is your remedy? You can file a petition for habeas corpus. Anyway, the hospital is not deprived of any other remedy. Diba? You can always file a court to collect. Diba? So that's a remedy that may be availed of by what? That may be availed of by this institution. Or say for example, anak mo, nasa ibang tao, ayaw nang ibigay sa'yo. Ano? Dahil napamahal na, dahil pinabayaan mo naman kasi, pero gusto mo nang ipakita yung pagmamahal ngayon sa kanya. Kaya gusto mo siyang kunin, ayaw nang ibigay sa'yo. What will you do? File a petition for habeas corpus. Para yung bata, dalhin sa korte, at yung nagkukustudiya sa kanya, ipaliwanag sa korte kung bakit patuloy niya na siya ang magkustudiya sa bata. If he could not be able to what? If he could not be able to justify that, he has to be given to his biological parent because that is what the law provides. Diba? Joint parental authority is with the parents, mother and father. So take to ang mother and father na ngayon, may joint parental authority, equal na. Noon, under the old civil law, ang husband, ngayon, under the new family code, equal na yung parental authority ng mother at father. Okay? Yeah. Kaya nga kung mamatay yung isa, magpa-file ka pa na, and may property yung bata, normally ikaw ang magkukustudiya, di ba? Including the property ng bata, di ba? Kailangan mo pang humingi ng kailangan mo pa mag-post ng parental bond sa court para isituit na yung property ng bata, gagastahin mo talaga para sa bata. Even if you are the parent, even if you are one of the parents. So, habeas corpus for the liberty. But I also would like to emphasize that the petition for habeas corpus is only available if the person is in active custody, is in active detention. Meaning to say what? Meaning to say he is totally restrained of his what? He is totally restrained of his liberty. Yeah? In fact, if I am not mistaken, I've already shared you this. The case of the police officers, several police officers in Taysan, Batangas. They were charged for allegedly orchestrating the burning of the school during election. I know some of you have heard that already or have read it in the newspaper that there were officers, some of them even are high-ranking officers, were implicated in the burning which caused the death of election officer or board of election inspectors, most of whom are teachers. So they were placed under what? They were placed under restrictive custody. They were placed under restrictive custody. So believing that they are deprived of their liberty, they filed a petition for habeas corpus. Believing that they are what? Believing that they are under custody. So naklaro mo niyan ang ating Korte Suprema that is allowed, especially under the PNP law. That if you are under investigation, you may even place under restricted custody. And secondly, even if you are under restricted custody, you are not deprived of your liberty, only that your activities are being monitored. But still, you can go out. Habeas corpus is available if you are in active detention or if you are absolutely restrained or deprived of your liberty. Sabi ko nga, yun ang nangyari kay Jun Lozada, di ba? When Jun Lozada alighted from airplane, he was placed under the custody of Philippine National Police. They traveled so much, di ba? Kaya ang ginawa ng pamilya, nag-file sila ng petition for habeas corpus. But later on, if I am mistaken, Jun Lozada was freed. Pinalaya na siya or pinauwi na siya. So ano nang nangyari ngayon doon sa petition for habeas corpus? It was already mooted by his release. Pero, he still believes that there's risk on his life as well as what? As well as on his family. So by this time, he now filed. he now filed a petition for the issuance of writ of amparo. So if there is a danger, even if you are not in detention or in custody, but there is still a risk to your life or your liberty, take note, you can ask from the court that you be protected. And by that, the court could issue a writ of amparo. That's the new one. No? That is a new rule. No? Because if you're checking the Constitution, question yan, if I am mistaken, 1981 bar examination, one of my professors when I was in the College of Law was asked of that question, what is writ of amparo? Hindi, kung ngayong araw, kung ano ang writ of amparo? Ang araw po nga writ rule. Amparo. Ano ngayong amparo? Because you cannot find in the Constitution the word amparo. But there were amparo protections under the Constitution. We have amparo libertad. Malayan sa Constitution. Pero may ginamit na ibang termino, ano yun? Habeas corpus. That is amparo libertad. We also have amparo agrario. That is the provision on what? Provision on agrarian reforms. So that's a protection also. We also have amparo castasado. Ano yun? That's the power of the court to review, diba? Decisions of the whole court. Or amparo administrativo. Has something to do with administrative due process, diba? So wala naman po yan sa Constitution yung amparo. But if you'll be asked in the bar examination, cite certain amparos under the Constitution, there are plenty. Right, it's amparo. So check, take note, because there's still few questions in the bar examination as regards rules. Meron pa, writ of amparo, writ of habeas data, writ of kalikasan, di ba? Writ of habeas corpus. So luma na po yung writ of habeas corpus. Meron ng mga bagong writ ngayon na provided under the rules provided by the Supreme Court sitting en banc. So take note. Yeah. Next is what? Okay. But this time, class, what is being suspended? Privilege of the writ of habeas corpus if there is rebellion and invasion. The privilege of the writ of habeas corpus is only limited to what? To those who are suspected or to those who are charged with rebellion or invasion. Like, for example, you are suspected to be committing rebellion, that's a felony, di ba? You are suspected to be committing kudita, that's a felony. You are suspected to be committing sedition, that has something to do with invasion, di ba? So these are the cases, or just among the cases, where the privilege of writ of habeas corpus may be suspended. Like, for example, there is a person suspected to be committing rebellion, detained in what? Detained in the municipal police station of Tinambak. Okay? Supposing the President has suspended the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus in Bicol region. Pwede ba yun? Has suspended the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus in Bicol region. Pwede ba yun? Or declared martial law in Bicol region. Bicol lang, Bicol. Pwede yun? I could not forget that because that is among the questions in the 2000 bar examination when I took the bar. Hindi pa naman matagal, 2000. Tira na. Ako, sir. Matanda na din, ano? And been with the public attorney's office for 11 years. Kaya, ang white hair, suwabe. Mga kasong ipaparay lang ng Mr. Gusgisa. Enjoy, ano? Supposing, so cannot be done, yes or no? That was the question. Because if I am not mistaken, when I took the bar examination, the problem was in Basilan. Kadto. Was in Basilan. So, nakaparalikot pa. Ano? Because it's also okay na i-discuss, ano? Nakaparalikot pa ang questionnaire. Nakaganyan pa. Pero, nasisilag mo. Nasisilag mo yung questions, di ba? At bawal ka pang mag-open pag dahil pa sinasabihan na mag-open. Can the President declare martial law in the Philippines? I know this. Di ba? So, kasi para paano, it boosts your what? It boosts your confidence. Because you don't have to read jurisprudence, di ba? It's a constitutional provision that the President may slay the entire country or any part thereof, take note, under martial law. So you don't have to read jurisprudence. If you are aware of the provisions of your Constitution, it's a 50 centavos question. Diba? Take note. Kaya maganda din po na inaalam natin ang provision ng ating Constitution. So supposing suspended sa tinamba. The problem is what? The problem is he is not yet charged in court. What is the requirement under the Constitution if the privilege of the right of habeas corpus is suspended? Within 3 hours from time, within 3 days from the time he is arrested, he should be judicially charged. Supposing he was not judicially charged, what will happen? He shall be released. But it does not follow that just because he was already released, take note, police officers or the prosecution office can no longer file a case against him. Okay. Only that, the ordinary rule of procedure will be followed in filing an ordinary case. So can you file a petition for habeas corpus because you are detained there because suspected to be committing rebellion? Yes or no? Supposing dumaan nakakulong duman, ang saro is suspected to be committing murder. Ang saro is suspected to be committing rebellion. Kasi pareha sila nag-file ng petition for the issuance of writ of habeas corpus. Ang problema, yung sa murder, grant, sa iya, it was suspended. The privilege was suspended. Take note. Although there is a merit, but it was suspended because the President has declared suspension of the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus. Is there a difference between these two fellows? Yes or no? Yes. Why? Because the authority of the President to suspend the privilege of writ of habeas corpus is only limited, take note, to those committing rebellion and sedition, which are considered political offenses. So other crimes, take note, are not suspended. Yeah? Other crimes are not suspended. So I would like to emphasize that this is only limited to what? This is only limited to political offenses. Political offenses because the continuous what? The continuous activity of this particular individual, take note, could what? Could affect the stability of the government itself. Yeah? What time is this? Uwi na po tayo. I have an urgent appointment. Where is the attendance? We'll continue next time. What time is this? Hindi pa naman Ha? 5 minutes. Okay, no problem. Please be reminded, we still have a meeting on Friday. Although I have a hearing in Siruma, pag dumating ako maaga-aga, dadating ako. And we have till next week, then Sunday, morning from 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock, because I have already informed the other section that we shall be conducting a makeup class on a Sunday. You are